the basil of the house, the caring, sensible, loving wife, the first woman to embrace Islam, the mother of the believers, Khadijah bint Khuwaylid.
They said, O Abu Talib, you have known your status among us and our love for you, and that we have been patient with your nephew for a long time, but he has not stopped what he is in. We will no longer be patient with him cursing our gods and belittling our dreams until you stop him for us, or we will fight him and you until one of the two teams perishes. Abu Talib said in emotion, This is how far your matter reaches? A war in the sacred mosque, which Allah made a place of return for the people and a place of security? What are you saying, and how do you behave? One of them shouted angrily, Are you not one of us, Abu Talib? Would you accept to be a sinful liar? Didn't you hear what your nephew said about us? Listen, Abu Talib, to this saying, Woe to every sinful liar, who hears the verses of Allah being recited to him, yet persists with pride as if he did not hear them. So announce to him a painful torment. And when he learns something of our verses, he makes them a jest. For such there will be a humiliating torment. In front of them there is hell, and that which they have earned will be of no profit to them, nor will be of any profit to them those whom they have taken as allies, and they will have a great punishment. This Quran is guidance, and those who have disbelieved in the verses of their Lord will have a painful punishment of foul nature. According to him, each of us is an arrogant liar, but he and his followers are the servants of the Most Merciful, about whom his Quran says, And the servants of the Most Merciful are those who walk upon the earth easily, and when the ignorant address them harshly, they say words of peace. And those who spend part of the night to their Lord prostrating and standing in prayer. And those who say, Our Lord, avert from us the punishment of hell. Indeed, its punishment is ever adhering. Indeed, it is evil as a settlement and residence. And they are those who, when they spend, do so not excessively or sparingly, but are ever between that, justly moderate. And they are those who do not testify to falsehood, and when they pass near ill speech, they pass by with dignity. And those who, when reminded of the verses of their Lord, do not fall upon them deaf and blind. And those who say, Our Lord, grant us from among our wives and offspring comfort to our eyes, and make us an example for the righteous. Does this satisfy you, Abu Talib? Abu Talib said calmly, How does that harm you? This is an etiquette that he disciplines his followers with. Don't you agree that it is a great etiquette that each one of us would like to see in Mecca? They shouted in anger, No, Abu Talib. His Quran stabs us and undermines our dignity. Everything he gives to his followers, he strips us of it, and he gives us its opposite. Do you know the reward for those whom he called the servants of the Most Merciful? Those will be awarded the chamber, the highest place in paradise, for what they patiently endured, and they will be received therein with greetings and words of peace. Abiding eternally therein, good is the settlement and residence. But for us, we are in Saqar. And what can make you know what is Saqar? It lets nothing remain and leaves nothing unburned, blackening the skins. What do you see, Abu Talib? Whenever we are about to take a decisive action, we remember your right over us. So what do you say? Think, and we will not give up hope. We will return to you, and we are confident that you will appreciate the situation and come to an opinion that will comfort us and comfort you. Abu Talib said to the messenger in sympathy, You have known, my nephew, what the Quraysh came for, and you have confirmed the evil in their hearts. So spare yourself and me, desist from them, and ask them whatever you want." But the messenger refused to abandon the call to Allah, and he insisted to continue on his way. When they returned to Abu Talib, he shouted to them strongly, "I will never abandon my nephew, and I will never leave him to you." So they failed in the first part of the plan that they had drawn up, and they saw that they had failed in the second part, which was to separate Khadijah after Abu Talib. So they decided something else. They decided to eliminate the followers of Muhammad and make them an example for those who think of entering this religion, so that Muhammad would not find any supporters around him, nor would he find anyone to invite them to his religion. Screaming and wailing echoed in Mecca, and the scenes of torture and abuse of slaves and weak Muslims were widespread. Some of them were thrown into the sun that melted iron, and a large stone was placed on their chest so that they could not move and could not escape from those rays that grilled them. Some of them were thrown into a dark room without food or drink, until hunger tore out their insides. Some of them had their stomachs cut open with iron poles, and their private parts were exposed in front of the gathered crowds to see their torture and abuse. In front of the houses, curses and insults raged, and every woman who was good at using them rose up to take her share in the battle. The Muslim in Mecca became something to flee from, even if he was a relative or a close friend. Otherwise, the eyes of the disbelievers would see him, and their hands would reach out to him. And what a woe for him if he fell into those cruel fists. In the midst of this battle, Khadijah was working with steadfastness, determination, and persistence. She extended her hand, wiping it on the wounded, comforting them, encouraging them, and promising them victory and triumph. She opened her treasures to the Muslims, from which they could take whatever they wished, and gave her money in the way of Allah, paying fines, buying and releasing tortured slaves, and preventing the Quraysh from restricting the Muslims in their trade and business. She did not care about that mess they were making. She did not pay attention to the stones falling on her house and hitting her door, nor to the shouting of the polytheists and their children around her house, nor does she revolt at the sight of those wicked people walking behind, round, and in front of the Prophet, shouting the filthiest words, and throwing filth at him that covered his head and stained his clothes. Rather, she smiled and waited until he entered the house. Then she met him laughing and mocking at this small thing that the Quraysh were doing. Then she hurried to his clothes, changed them, and removed with her smile and satisfaction what concerned him. When the messenger saw what was happening to his companions, he chose to keep them away from this harm and authorized them to emigrate to Abyssinia. Khadijah was pleased with this permission and helped the immigrants to prepare for the journey and provided them with what would help them to leave. Her joy increased when Uthman ibn Affan, the husband of her daughter Ruqayya, came to her to tell her of his and Ruqayya's intention to emigrate. And she said with satisfaction, "May Allah bless you, O Uthman, and may Allah bless Ruqayya. As for us, we will remain here until Allah permits." In the cover of night, these immigrants were fleeing from Mecca with their religion, and Khadijah was saying goodbye to them, smiling and patient. Then she planted 2 kisses on her daughter's cheeks, wished her and her husband a happy journey and success in those distant lands, and kept watching them from between the curtains of darkness until they disappeared from sight. Then she returned to her house to wait for what the Quraysh would do. But that story is for the next time.